programs offer many languages. Please visit SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule.
Nossos programas oferecem vários idiomas. Acesse SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule.
हमारे कार्यक्रम पेश किए जाते हैं कई भाषाओं में. कृपया देखें SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule.
我们的节目提供多种语言，请看 SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule.
Rancangan kami menawarkan banyak bahasa. Sila kunjungi SupremeMasterTV.com/kehadapan-schedule.
برامجنا متوفرة بالعديد من اللغات. يرجى زيارة SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule.
Наши программы предлагают много языков. Пожалуйста, посмотрите SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule.
Xin xem công thức thuần chay quốc tế miễn phí và các ngôn ngữ sẵn có tại SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG.
When Lord Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount, what did he say about how humankind should live and eat? Stay tuned to find out on A History of Veganism, Part 2 of 4, from the ancient period to the early modern era.
Hello, high-minded viewers. It is a pleasure to have your company today. I'm Leo from Hamilton in New Zealand. Our multicultural and united people send you our heartfelt love and pray that your lives be full of divine joy and blissful harmony. Welcome to part 2 of our 4-episode series on the history of veganism. In part 1, we saw that vegetarianism has its roots in the world's ancient spiritual traditions. It should be of no surprise that vegetarianism and religion are so closely associated, considering that the cornerstone of virtually all major faiths and philosophies in the world is the universally recognized golden rule, to treat others kindly, which is the underlying tenet of vegetarianism and veganism.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Lord Jesus Christ.
This perhaps is the most famous principle that Lord Jesus Christ conveyed during his Sermon on the Mount. We would like to honor Christianity, the world's largest religion, by exploring the various existing written records and other information that suggest Lord Jesus and the early Christians were vegetarians or vegans. We are fortunate that we have many reputable sources to draw from on this matter. In the 4th century, the revered ascetic Saint Bishop Epiphanes quotes the Gospel of the Ebionites, where Lord Jesus rebukes the leadership of the Pharisees, saying,
I am come to end the sacrifices and feasts of blood, and if ye cease not offering and eating of flesh and blood, the wrath of God shall not cease from you.
Gospel of the Ebionites.
Around the same time, the first significant early church historian, Bishop Eusebius of Caesarea, stated in the Proof of the Gospels regarding the apostles, they embraced and preserved in a strenuous and laborious life, with fasting and abstinence from wine and meat. Through Eusebius, we also learn that the respected Christian chronicler Hegesippus wrote in the 2nd century about Lord Jesus' brother, St. James the Just.
James, the brother of the Lord, succeeded to the government of the church in conjunction with the apostles. He was holy from his mother's womb, and he drank no wine, nor strong drink, nor did he eat flesh. Saint Hegesibus.
Since Lord Jesus and his brother St. James grew up in the same household, this is strong evidence that their parents, venerated Mary and St. Joseph, were vegetarians, thought to likely be part of a vegetarian Jewish ascetic community called the Essenes. There are many counsels against flesh eating in the New Testament, which was a collection of Greek translations of Hebrew and Aramaic texts, written at different times by different authors. Even in the most famous example, where Jesus is cited as feeding the multitudes with bread and fish, Church Father Saint Irenaeus of Lyon twice states in Against Heresies that Lord Jesus fed the multitudes with bread alone, as does Eusebius in the Proof of the Gospel 3.4. Furthermore, in Matthew chapter 16 verses 9 to 10, Lord Jesus himself, when referring back to this miracle, mentions bread but does not mention fish. If you would like to explore further about vegetarianism and Christianity, many books have been written on the subject, such as Jesus and Mary Were Kosher Vegetarians, The Evidence from the Bible, The Early Church and Nutrition by James C. Tibbetts, The Forgotten Beginnings of Creation and Christianity by Carl Anders Screever, The Lost Religion of Jesus by Keith Akers, and Is God a Vegetarian? Christianity, Vegetarianism, and Animal Rights by Richard Allen Young. Intelligent viewers, let us take a moment to smell the roses in the garden and thank the saints of the past for preaching a compassionate ethic to the world. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back, serene viewers. Moving on to other areas within that era, and keeping with the legacy of Pythagoras, many Greco-Roman philosophers, including Socrates and Plato, widely regarded as the founders of Western philosophy, were proponents of the vegetarian diet. In the 1st century AD, prominent Platonist writer Plutarch wrote one of the earliest works on the topic entitled On the Eating of Flesh, in which he denounces the practice based on human anatomy and morality, pointing out that animals possess the attributes of intelligence and sentience, saying,
"But for the sake of some little mouthful of flesh, we deprive a soul of the sun and light, and of that proportion of life and time it had been born into the world to enjoy." Plutarch.
In the 3rd century, Plotinus, the founder of Neoplatonism, also espoused vegetarianism with a passion, saying that animals feel pain and pleasure, not just humans. Plotinus's famous student, Porphyry, was the first to discuss the ethics of using animal byproducts like milk, honey, and wool in his landmark work on abstinence from animal food. Another major school of philosophy concurrent with Platonism is Stoicism, which emphasizes simple living and the law of cause and effect. Its eminent adherents, Seneca, Ovid, and Musonius Rufus, were also major advocates of the plant-based diet. As we move now toward the east, we find that vegetarianism thrived in India under the religious practices of Jainism, Hinduism, and Buddhism. In the 3rd century, the Indian Buddhist king, Ashoka the Great, banned animal sacrifices and sport hunting, encouraged his people to follow a vegetarian diet, and made it illegal to burn forests that might harbor wild animals. Written sometime between the 4th century BC and 5th century AD, Indian philosopher T. Rualua wrote an exclusive chapter on vegetarianism in Tirukkural, widely considered one of the greatest works ever done on ethics and morality. Like renowned philosopher Confucius of China, he emphasized the virtues of benevolence, righteousness, courtesy, and trustworthiness as the foremost basic foundations of life. In the Middle East, around 600 BC or earlier, the great prophet Zoroaster advocated vegetarianism in Iran. His philosophy had a far-reaching influence on Western thought, Hinduism, and Judeo-Christianity. In Syria, the much-loved blind poet Abu al-Ala al-Ma'ari would make vegan history when he became the first vegan to endorse the vegan philosophy in all its facets, that is, the non-exploitation of animals in any manner. Let us listen to Dr. Andy Mars, long-time animal rights activist and an expert on raising vegan children, as he shares wisdom from al-Ma'ari in a speech on vegan history in 2018.
Around the year 1000, al-Ma'ari stated, "Come to me that thou mayest hear the tidings of sound truth. Do not unjustly eat what the water has given up," that means fish, "and do not desire as food and flesh of slaughtered animals of the white," meaning milk of mothers, "who intended its pure draught for their young, not noble ladies. And do not grieve the unsuspecting birds by taking their eggs. For injustice is the worst of crimes, and spare the honey which the bees get betimes by their industry from the flowers of fragrant plants. For they did not store it that it might belong to others, nor did they gather it for bounty and gifts. I washed my hands of all this."
As the Middle Ages welcomed a new dawn in the form of the Renaissance period, from the 14th to the 17th century, there was renewed interest in classical Greco-Roman philosophy, accompanied by an unprecedented flowering of cultural, artistic, political, and economic advancements. Vegetarianism would benefit from this transformation, together with a newfound humanism carried forward by greats such as Leonardo da Vinci, one of the most well-known intellectuals to walk the earth, who would write impassionedly against the mistreatment of animals, even rejecting leather and beeswax. On bees, for example, he wrote with ardent eloquence,
"And many will be robbed of their stores and their food, and will be cruelly submerged and drowned by folks devoid of reason. O justice of God, why dost thou not awake to behold thy creatures thus abused?" Leonardo da Vinci.
Thus, the stage was set for the age of Romanticism and the vegan movement that was to come in the early modern era. We will learn more about this in our next episode on Tuesday, May 14th. We look forward to seeing you again. Radiant viewers, thank you for your presence today. Coming up next is From the Original Universe to Our World, True Love Never Changes, Part 5 of 10 on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May your inner light and beauty shine through always and uplift the spirit of everyone around you in God's grace.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule and SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG.